Hi, it's Vishali here. I've just covered Chelsea's 2-1 win over Stoke at the Bet365 Stadium, and I want to look back not so much on the match action but more on how Antonio Conte showed in the game just how good of a tactician he is proving to be. Now, interestingly, in the reverse fixture, I was at Stamford Bridge on New Year's Eve to see Chelsea beat Stoke 4-2. And actually, in that very same video blog, I talked about how one of the reasons why Conte has done so well this season is because he hasn't been afraid to change his tactical formation. And again today against Stoke, you saw that he did that after a very long time using the 3-4-3 that has become, much talked about this season. So I'm going to look back really briefly on how Conte has changed his tactics this season and how it helped them win against Stoke today. Now, of course, if you followed Chelsea from the beginning of the season, you'll know that Conte implemented a roughly 4-3-3 formation at the start of the season. I remember Oscar saying in pre-season that he felt it was the best kind of formation to help players like himself who like to be creative. Now, that formation had good success in that, of course, Chelsea secured some narrow wins over the likes of West Ham and Watford. But you saw it begin to unravel in terms of the players that Conte's got when they lost to Liverpool and when they suffered that 3-0 thrashing against Arsenal at the Emirates Stadium. Interestingly, in that very game, Conte first used the 3-4-3 in the second half, and he saw that it worked. I mean, obviously, Chelsea had lost the game by that point. But then he implemented that system for the trip to Hull. I think it was on the 1st of October. So, a good 6 months ago. And Chelsea, of course, went on that remarkable 13-game winning streak, which saw them surge to the top of the Premier League standings and get to the point where before today, they were leading second-place Spurs by 10 points. The 3-4-3 brings out the best in Chelsea's attacking players. It's freed the likes of Eden Hazard, Pedro, Willian, so they don't have to do as much defending. I mean, there are definitely instances when they have to track back, and Diego Costa does it a lot, but it means they're free to roam around. It also means that when Chelsea don't have the ball, they can bring men back. So your wing backs, your Victor Moseses, your Marcos Alonsos, they come rushing back to help David Luiz, Gary Cahill and Cesar Azpilicueta to create almost a 5-man defence. And that's why it's been so good for Chelsea. Now, interestingly, today against Stoke, Willian, he scored that fine free kick early on in the game before John Walters scored a penalty. Stoke made life really hard for Chelsea today, and they were threatening to walk away with a point from the game. Now, Conte could easily, considering their significant lead at the top of this Premier League table, he could easily have just opted to, bring on another defender and protect that 1 point that he looked certain to walk away from the game with. But instead, he switched things up completely. He went all out for the win, and he brought Victor Moses off. Obviously, he plays as the the right wing back in Chelsea's system normally. He brought him off and he brought on Cesc Fabregas, and he switched from a 3-4-3 to a 4-2-3-1, and it paid off. Fabregas was the one who delivered that corner, which ended in Gary Cahill smashing in the winner in the dying stages of the game, and it meant that Chelsea secured the win. But temporarily, they are now 13 points clear of Tottenham. Now, Conte was asked about that tactical formation and the switching of it in the game. And he just said after the match that, yes, he risked walking away from the Bet365 Stadium with no points, because he knows that, because he understood that if he went all out for the win, there could have been an opportunity for Stoke to score, because they had this amazing kind of 10 minutes towards the end of the game where they were just piling on the pressure on Chelsea's defence. But he was happy, of course, that it worked out for his side. And I think what it shows is that Conte is a very good tactician. He's not afraid to make changes at half time of games, as he showed against Arsenal, as he showed in the second half here against Stoke. And it also shows just how much of a winning mentality he has. He didn't want to just settle for a draw. He wanted to go out for the win. And I think that's a big reason why Chelsea have done so well and why Conte has done so well in his debut season in England.